Hi, hello, and welcome to this week's video. I tried like 3 different times to film an intro to this with me actually talking to the camera, but that did not work out, and you can see that in the bloopers at the end. But it's Monday, at least in these clips, not in this voiceover, and I thought I would take you along with me for the week, a little look into how I balance my full-time job with my creative work and what my work, life, art balance kind of looks like. If you're new here, hi, I'm Courtney. I'm a part-time artist with a full-time job living here in a small town in New England. I make cozy, hopefully realistic videos about what it's like to try and build a creative life while still working a regular 9-to-5 job. So if you're here for that kind of thing, or even just for the vibes, welcome. I'm glad to have you. So I recently started a new job. I went back to working in academia. It's where I feel like I truly belong. I love what I do. I love working with students and being surrounded by people who care about learning and growth. I work in a hybrid setup, which means I only go to campus 2 or 3 days a week. It just kind of depends on what the needs are for my office that week. And it's about an hour drive each way for me, so on the days that I work from home, like today, I try to use that commute time for something else, like making art. Even 20 minutes of sketchbook time can make my whole day feel more grounded. And it's not always about making something beautiful, it's about just showing up. If you're also a part-time artist, let me know in the comments how you balance the other aspects of your life. I always love hearing from other people about how they manage the juggling of it all. Most of my workday is pretty digital: emails, project management, and lots of meetings. But I do try to build in little resets when I can, a walk, a stretch, or even just stepping outside to see the sun for a second. Today definitely was one of those fully packed days. Then, when the workday ends, my next task begins, and that's getting ready to be on campus the next day. I go through the same checklist every time, making sure I've got my bag packed, my lunch, my outfit laid out, gym clothes so I actually get up and work out before I drive to campus. And I used to kind of think of these things as chores, but now it's kind of a little gift to my future self that I'm set up for the next day. So today is a campus day. I'm usually out the door pretty early, and the drive takes, like I said, around an hour. But it's not too bad. The roads are really quiet this early, and it's one of the only parts of my day where I don't have to multitask. It's just me and the road and a podcast and a really beautiful landscape. I often pull over to take some reference photos, either of flowers or buildings. I don't always have a plan for what I'm going to do with them, but there are definitely a few that I want to turn into paintings. It's just such a gorgeous drive, and I'm really excited for the fall and the winter and just the changing of the seasons through the mountains. Even though campus days are long, I like having both rhythms in my week. I love being in the office and seeing my coworkers, but I also appreciate working from home, and I know that Cy likes it when I work from home too. But after a full day on campus, I'm ready to just crash onto the couch. I don't try to get too much done on these nights, just knitting on the couch and unwinding is more than enough. Today is another work from home day, and I started it off with a little walk around town, a little calm, enjoying the morning light. And then I also had a little bit of time this morning to work on a commission that I'm really excited about. It's going to be a printed map for an art event in a nearby town. The business office reached out to have me illustrate it based on some work I'd done in the past. I can't share too many details, but I really love getting to work on projects that connect art and the local community. And then once the work week is over, I have a little bit of time to catch up on other things, all of the life stuff. Sometimes that's chores around the house, other art projects, maybe doing a little bit of reading, or going out with family and friends to events around town and around our little part of New England. Sometimes the weekend starts off much the same as every other day of the week, with a little bit of time in my sketchbook, just trying to keep up that daily practice. Today I wanted to use one of my reference books just to try to work on a few simple house sketches with my fountain pen, just to play around a little bit, keep things loose, and enjoy the quiet morning. I do typically get a little bit more done on the weekends, but I had a package that just came, and it is some, not all, but some of the possible yarn for this year's Rhinebeck sweater, the Ooey Gooey, which I will pop in up here. So this is Malintosh Wool Cycle Sport, and the colorway is Frontier Stars, and it has some nice little black flecks in there, and I am hoping that it matches the black yarn that I ordered from the UK. That yarn is not here yet. It's only been about like 10 or 12 days. So that's fine. Maybe it will get here this week. We'll see. So if it does, then I can see if this texture works with that yarn. I don't know, I've never worked with, I don't even remember the name of the yarn that I ordered, what brand it was. It was a cotton wool blend, and this is 100% wool, so I just have to see if I like them together or not. But I'd really like to use this for the accent color instead of the cream. I did order a backup option, so I got the black enough for the main color of the sweater, and then I got cream in case I don't like these two yarns together, because the cream is the same brand, same kind of yarn as the black one, so they'll definitely go together. But I'd really like to use something with a little more color in that little accent, like swoopy part. So I'm hoping this works out, but I won't know until that other yarn gets here. But in the meantime, it's summer in New England. So let's go to a baseball game. One of my favorite parts of living in New England is how easy everything is to get to. All of these little small town joys, like a minor league baseball team. It's a short drive, a winding road, and suddenly you're at the ballpark. To me, baseball really is one of those crucial ingredients for summer. And I really love being able to just sit down, relax, and pull out my sketchbook at a small town game and get some sketches in of the crowd, of the baseball players. And I really am here not so much for the game as for spending time with family and friends. I also bring along my knitting, and yes, I'm knitting at a baseball game. It might not be typical, but I really enjoy sitting back and watching the game while I work on my project. The other great part of any summertime event is definitely the food. We're so lucky that our ballparks have some of the best food, including wood-fired pizza. It's the perfect finale to a week of work, art, and all of the life in between. spending the week with me. I hope you felt some of the balance that I'm always chasing, and if you have any tips on how you balance maybe your art or your writing with your full-time job, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If you liked this cozy week, then don't forget to hit that like button and maybe subscribe. Hope you're having a great week wherever you're at, and I'll see you in the next one.
How's it going? Welcome to this week's vlog. I thought this week I would take you along with me for kind of a little work-life balance. A week in my life with cats. I don't know if you can see them in the frame right now or not. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. That's amazing. At any rate,
If you two can't behave, you don't get any catnip.